Thunder here at home for a 3-game homestand surrounding Thanksgiving. I've got Alex Caruso here alongside me. The Minnesota Timberwolves are in town, and before we get to that, though, this is such a special opportunity. I mean, you know just as well as anybody how rare it is to actually be at home during a holiday break and a season. You actually will get tomorrow off and not have to travel on Thanksgiving Day. And you had a chance yesterday to go down to the City Rescue Mission as an entire team and give back there. I just wanted to get your perspective on what went down there and how you felt after you left that place.
Yeah, it was great. We spent a little bit of the afternoon over there just hanging out with some kids, some families who, City Rescue Mission tries to get people back on their feet, help them find jobs, stable income homes. So for them, holidays can, it can always be a little rough just thinking about outside things. So it's good for us to just go there and, give them some good energy, hang out with them for a little bit of the afternoon, serve some food, which I think they appreciated and loved it.
Yeah, you could feel that these people recognized how your impact could carry them maybe through the holiday season and just being there and giving them something to hold on to. You guys have had such a great run of things here. You were on the road for so long. What did you feel like you kind of carried over from being on the road and not exhaling when you got back home the other night that you're going to have to continue forward this week?
Yeah, I think just trying to continue the consistency that we've kind of started this year. Obviously, we've gotten off to a great start, but I think there's still areas of improvement for us. And I think some of the teams we're playing coming up will really kind of, push us and see if we're committed to those things that we talk about, which I think we are, but putting it into action and putting it into games is, where it counts. And I'm looking forward to, having some of those games coming up.
This team tonight in Minnesota is definitely one of those squads that's going to push you. You saw them in the Western Conference Finals last year. Tell me about, the familiarity that you have with this group and what is going to be key in this matchup, just given the fact that they're relatively the same from last year.
Yeah, I mean, they got great players, great size with some skill, and Reed and Randall, and then obviously, Anthony Edwards is an all-star, all-NBA caliber player. So just controlling them as a team, I think if we let them play one-on-one game all night, it's probably in their favor. So just trying to be connected on the defensive end and then make them work on offense and move the ball around.
When Sam Presti brought you in, one of the things that he was most excited about is your ability to play up defensively. This seems like a matchup where, whether it's some of those big frontline guys that you're talking about or some of their long wings, you may have to do that once again. How much do you relish that opportunity to get up underneath guys and make life hard for them?
Yeah, I just love the competition of it. I think traditionally people would look at it and think that I'm maybe the underdog in the matchup. So for me, just having that that chip on my shoulder going into the game of, having to work harder and win matchups with guys when they're more comfortable, where I might be a little uncomfortable closer to the rim and on the block. So for me, it's great competition, and it's great to kind of like hone your skills and work on your packages and your practice to get ready for the important games later in the season.
The defense as a whole is far and beyond anybody else's at this stage in the season, even in the midst of a historic scoring season around the NBA. Offensively, you all are right up there at the top of the heap as well. What's been going right on that end of the floor, even without having an all NBA guy and some other big time players?
I think we're just being very comfortable with taking what the defense is giving us. Some of that offense is transitioned through our defense, which always helps, but a lot of that I think is just guys being aggressive in opportunities when they have a chance to be, which is what we need, because in the biggest games of the year, that's kind of what happens. Like you said, the all-NBA guys, they get a lot of attention and they get game plan for. So just being able to have that complementary offense around them, I think, has been great for us. And I think we've just taken advantage of that early in the year.
It seems like you guys have just been in that flow state where the guy makes the next play to the open guy. It's looked beautiful out there. Good luck out there tonight against Minnesota AC.
Yeah, thanks, Nick. Appreciate it.
That's Alex Caruso. I'm Nick Gallo, and this is Thunder Basketball. Together with the whole team down there at City Rescue Mission.
Oh, it's cool. I mean, just coming together, giving back. It's always something really special. I mean, just doing it together as a team. Just giving back to the community does so much for us. It's something really cool.
People there, might feel a little bit invisible. You know what I mean? And you guys are so notable. What did you feel like they were able to walk away with, just with y'all's presence and attention?
I think it probably helps us more at the end of the day if you really think about it. I think at the end of the day, we're all humans. We're all the same. It doesn't matter if we play basketball for a sport or you have a different job. We're all human. And so I think for us, just going out there, showing that we're all human, that we're not bigger than anyone else, was something also really impactful for us. But then also just seeing the joy in their faces was something cool.
This Minnesota team is relatively unchanged from when you saw them in the Western Conference Finals last year. Any takeaways from that series and some things that you guys need to do at a really high level tonight?
I mean, they got the Marin engines and Edwards and Julius, so we got to make sure we're locked in on that. And so it's going to be a team effort regardless who we play against. So we're just excited to go in, compete against another really good team, and just go from there.
And what's going to be important for you guys?
I mean, it's really cool. I mean, I kind of experienced it before in Europe, so now having something to really look forward to during a regular season. I mean, we always take regular season games really serious, but then to have something like this, I think the NBA did a good job kind of implementing this in the regular season.
You guys are such a competitive group. Just having something else to compete for kind of add to the juice for you guys today.
Yeah. Anytime the cup game is on, you hear like the money's on the line throughout the whole day. So it's definitely something cool.
Just an improvement, some necessity after winning a championship and starting at 17-1. Just what's impressed you about the way that you guys have not only raised your level but just maintained such a consistent play?
I mean, again, it starts with Mark. I think right when the offseason started, he was so process focused, and so I think it kind of just went throughout the team. I think we do a great job of just being process focused, putting our egos aside. I think also guys stepping up. I mean, we had a lot of injuries and guys like AJ, Wiggs, Zay, all these guys are stepping up. And then, I mean, you got the head of the snake with Shea, who's, I think, leading the league in scoring throughout 3 quarters. So I think him just being a present force for us has also been huge, but then also other guys stepping up.
Do you think you guys are playing better than you were even 6 months ago?
I think we've improved. I think that's the biggest thing. I think that's the biggest thing we're looking at is how can we improve? How can we keep getting better and better? You know, Mark's been doing an amazing job of just helping us get better each day. I think he's the mixture between just being real with us, talking to us what we need to improve on to get better. I think so that was huge. And he established that pretty early.
Looks like Kenrich is available to make his debut. What can you kind of tell me about what he's been doing sort of behind the scenes these past?
I mean, he's a leader. I mean, I think you hear his voice throughout the game, throughout the practice. And so just having him back is something really cool. Yeah, I mean, he's still been a force even when he wasn't playing. So it's definitely cool to have him back though.
See, always say a little something right before you guys run out onto the floor. Is that still kind of part of his routine, or a lot of guys?
I mean, we switch it up, but he's always definitely a main voice when he's there. So yeah.